Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I have a thank you card for you where we're going to do some watercoloring. I haven't watercolored in ages, so I thought I would take this opportunity to use this beautiful flower in the Humming Along set, as well as the thank you in here, to create a thank you card. So let's go ahead and jump in. We are going to be using soft sea foam for our base. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. We are using a piece of the Brights 6x6 Designer Series paper, and I've cut this down from my original. So this piece is 2 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then I have cut a rectangle stitched framelit. This is the 4th largest rectangle in this set, and this is watercolor paper, so you can see there's a little bit of texture to it. You can find the watercolor paper in our annual catalog. And then for our ink pads, we are using the soft sea foam, Flirty Flamingo, and a little bit of Calypso Coral. And then I'm going to do some stamping with the StazOn ink as well. So this is also found in our annual catalog as well, and there is a cleaner that we can use for that that is different because of the style of ink this is. You want to be careful with that. So let's stamp first so that we can give this a second to dry. I'm going to open up my StazOn. There's a little clear plate in there to keep this moist. And it's a beautiful jet black, so it's darker than the Memento, and it's perfect for watercoloring. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to pull this a little closer to myself, and we are going to drop that down. Now you want to be careful not to, rock or move your black, because you will make it look smeared. If that makes sense. It's a very moist ink, okay? And so what I like to do is I take the StazOn cleaner and I just put it directly to my stamp here, the solution, and then I grab myself a paper towel usually, and I start to clean it with that. So I don't like to put it into my chamois or my Stampin' Scrub. So I'll just clean it up this way. And I'll do a better job of that after we're off camera. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on our base here. So I'm going to take my Flirty Flamingo DSP. We're going to add some snail. And I'm going to put this on the left-hand side here, just flush. That looks good. I'm going to bring in the leaf from this set, as well as my soft sea foam. And I know I have a scrap piece of paper, which is probably pretty used, but I'll grab it just in case I need it. Alright, and then let's go ahead and start to watercolor. So I have my piece of watercolor paper here. I have my Flirty Flamingo, my Calypso Coral. I'm just going to press those in the center to get me a nice amount of ink in the lid. Okay, and then I'm going to use my aqua painter here. These can also be found in our catalog. So I'm just going to mix up all that ink, and I'm going to start to color. And so this paper does nicely with the water. I'm not squeezing the aqua painter as I'm using it, but it is releasing water. I'm going to try to not be so messy here. Although, some watercoloring, it isn't so much about staying in the lines. You can do this watercoloring with your aqua painter with any of your ink pads, so any color that you have. So that's nice to have, you know, as an option. It gives you a lot of versatility. And then just to clean your aqua painter, just grab yourself a piece of paper and just rub your painter back and forth until it runs clear. Okay, now let's bring in our Calypso Coral. Then we're going to bring in our soft sea foam. Give that a nice press. I'm going to touch my Flirty Flamingo one more time. I just see a little bit. I kind of just want that to be blended a little bit more. So I'm going to come back and touch that again. And so you can kind of see, and probably a little harder for you on camera, but with the watercolor paper you will get a little bit of a bow in your paper, and that's just because of the water, but when it dries, you'll be okay. You'll be able to adhere it down and, you know, it'll be flat. So I need to give this a little bit to dry, so I'm kind of just going to set this here and eyeball my sentiment. So I'm going to grab my StazOn again, and I'm using the Thank You sentiment from this set, and I'm actually going to stamp it here on the DSP. And so I want that nice dark black since I'm going on to patterned paper. I almost put that in my chamois. Such a habit. We are going to use some dimensionals. I have a bunch here on the edges, so I'm going to use those up. Let's just alright, now I'm going to try to get this straight. Okay, and hopefully you can see as this dries, it's still a little wet, so you can see some of the texture in there. It will begin to kind of even out a bit. And then on my original, I even took a little bit of our Clear Wink of Stella and put that over our image also. And you can see, hopefully, all that little shine. So I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm just going to give it a little bit more to dry. It's still a little damp. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's project. This is a beautiful set, and it's a great set for coloring. Whether you are using watercolor or blends, and it's got some nice fonts and sentiments in here. So you can find a full supply list of the products that we used today in the description of my video, and I look forward to being back with you real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.